All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is game number 2 for the Escalation League that we're playing in. I've modified my list a lot because I realized after the last game I was an idiot. If you haven't seen that one yet, you'll see it and you can laugh. It's fine, it's fine. Did not help my league standing whatsoever, but that's okay. So new list, got some new stuff. My chaos spawn, yes, they're too big. I'll be fixing that, but I didn't want to run something that was too small because then that's my being cheating and taking advantage of things. So here we go, 500 points. Got an aspiring sorcerer exalted sorcerer on a disc, sorry. He does have the warlord trait for cult of duplicity, so he can redeploy himself in D3 infantry troops, units, whatever. He has the relic for the 5-up CP regen when my opponents spend CP, so hopefully I can keep a few more CP this game. 2 5-man rubric squads. Oh, and he does have the sword. I did pay for that. Got Hellbrute with multi-melta and fist, and then 2 chaos spawn. They're a single unit. Yeah, we'll see what happens. This time I have a little bit of melee, a little bit of speed maybe, and then kind of the shooting, and it should take a few more boxes off of what I brought last time, which was very stationary and not good in melee, and it was embarrassing. You'd think I hadn't played a game before. So here's my 500 points. It's actually 496 as it stands at the moment. And I'm playing against some Death Guard tonight, so we'll come back in a second to show you the Death Guard. Alrighty, here's the Death Guard that I'll be playing against. We do have Mr. Lord of Virulence with his redonkulous big old flamer thing going on here. He's the Warlord, and this is the inexhaustible, I can't remember what it's called,
Plague Company.
Plague Company, thank you. So he's a warlord. He's doing what he's got to do, and it'll be lovely, I'm sure. He has the 5-up Feel No Pain. Is that a relic or warlord trait?
That is a warlord trait.
That's a warlord trait. So he has the 5-up Feel No Pain. This guy, the Plague Caster.
Yes.
My brain totally shut down. Plague Caster. He also has a warlord trait. He has Arch Contaminator. With the re-rolling of wounds and shooting and melee. And of course, yeah, he does what he does. I'm going to try to get rid of him real quick because I don't like that.
Good luck.
Yeah, no. There's a whole bunch of Poxwalkers. They're going to just be Poxwalkers. And then there's a 5-man, what are they called? They're Death Shroud.
They are the Death Shroud Terminators.
They are Death Shroud?
They are Death Shroud.
Okay, cool. So the Death Shroud Terminators.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Blight Lord.
Yeah, it's the Blight Lord. As I said, they're not Death Shroud. They don't have the capes, but I can't remember what they were. So Blight Lord. Cool. And that's 500 points. Even. Oh, so he's gonna win right there. You've heard it right there. I'm at 496. He's at 500. He did better than me. Game over. So we'll come back in a second. We'll show you the mission. We'll do roll off for first turn, and we'll get this party started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've not rolled for a mission because in the Escalation League, we were given a mission. It's, we're kind of modifying a few things for the 500-point games, but we are playing on this field layout. I'm at this deployment zone, he's at that one. The objectives are staggered. It's kind of wonky, but it's a fun mission. It's weird. So I'm on this side over here. I've got my rubrics, the spawn, the exalted sorcerer, Mr. Hellbrute, more rubrics on this corner. On across the way, my opponent threw down some nasty Terminators, Mr. Plague Caster. Then we got the Poxwalkers back here and his Lord of Virulence. So that is the layout of the game. This one does have a mission secondary that I've chosen to take that is called Encircle. And if you can have a unit from your army that is within 6 inches of your battlefield edge, which is just here, and then a unit within 6 of the opponent's battlefield edge, you get 4 points. I'm going to have to double check. I think that's actually 3. And then if you can have one of your units actually in the opponent's deployment zone, you get 5. So I think it's 3 and then 5. So I decided to take that. I've taken Assassinate because I really want to kill that character, even though it's not his warlord. And then I figure hopefully I'll be killing the other one too. And I'm going to do Raise Banners. And Mr. Lewis here has Spread the Sickness because Death Guard. Despoiled Ground because it's Death Guard. And Behind Enemy Lines. So that is what is shaking up for us today. And now we shall do the roll-off to see who is going to begin this here game. I'll let you roll first, sir. That's a good start. Let's see if I can match you. I only beat you by 1, but that's all I needed. My dice knew. Zinch. Telling you, Zinch is already all over it.
That's a pile of Chin Chin cookies.
Woohoo! Right, so it's going to be T-Sun's turn 1. We'll be back in. All right, so the end of T-Sun's turn 1. So I moved a bit here, just kind of spreading out, stretching the line. They raised the banner over there. Hellbrute came around, peeked around the corner. We attempted to shoot them. We did shoot them, but then he made saves, so that was cute. Exalted used his nice little disc, got around the corner, and then Doom bolted combined with the Cabal points to remove Mr. Platecaster. Then used Temporal Surge to back himself right back up. Spent the CP to cast an additional power, and then he teleported these boys off that objective back into this corner for Encircle, which is my other secondary. So I scored 3 for Assassinate, and I got points started for Encircle. The spawn ran that direction. Well, they didn't run, but they moved that direction because they have to have a unit wholly within 6 of your deployment zone, as well as within your, not deployment zone, but battlefield edge, as well as your opponent. So we're screening from the deep strike back here for right now, and then those guys are over there picking up some points. And that is it. Terminators took a singular wound from one Combi Bolter, or Inferno Bolter, sorry, T-Suns, I'm still learning. And that's it. And I think I said I raised a banner. So that'll start scoring later. That's it. We're going over to Death Guard, turn 1 next. Alrighty, so the end of Death Guard turn 1. Those nasty fellas over there went ahead and peeked all over that objective, and that is 4 victory points for Mr. Lewis. The Lord followed them up. These big chunky dudes, they came this direction, getting onto the objective, getting the Combi Melta in range of the Hellbrute, and then the rest of their firepower went over here. So I did spend the 1 CP for Unwavering Phalanx to reduce damage by 1, meaning that I had 2s and 3s to save the rest of his firepower, which I did. It was disappointing for Lewis. I almost feel bad. The multi-melta, almost. Multi-melta hit, multi-melta wounded, and then I rolled a 6 for the save. So again, almost felt bad.
Bunch of baloney.
Yep, bunch of hooey patooey. And that is the end of the Death Guard turn 1. So that is going to take us to turn 2. We'll be back in just a second. Alright, it is the end of my turn 2. These guys moved forward to be able to shoot into the Terminators. These guys shuffled backwards but stayed within the rapid fire range and getting line of sight from my Sorcerer over there, or the Aspiring dude. This guy could not, so he cast Presage on them. So they hit a lot and then didn't wound really at all anything because, you know, these guys are kind of tough. However, you will notice there's not many of them left, and that is all thanks to the Psychic phase, which was brutal. It was bad. First guy did a smite for 2. No, he did 3. Then Doom Bolt plus Cabal points plus a smite did all the rest of them down to the last guy. We did do the charging, had the CP reroll it, and managed to not hurt him because he made his 4-up saves. And he hit me and took a wound off my Hellbrute, so that was cute. That is the end of my turn, so we'll be back with Death Guard turn 2 next. Alright, so it is the end now of the Death Guard turn 2. Sat still here because he could still puke all over the objective per the updated Nephilim rules, and then when I hit him in combat this time, it was bad. I got 4 wounds through. I rerolled because he hurt me, and I rolled a 1 into a 1. That was cute. This mess over here has sat still. Well, the Lord of Virulence has come forward a little bit. I think he's planning on playing games. And that's it. So he picked up the 4 more for Spread the Sickness, picked up 8 on primary because that guy, if you're not aware, the Terminator is OBSEC and my dude is not. So he actually held as many as I did. So the score is close at the moment, but then I killed that guy. So then we'll score and it'll be a different story. So yes. But that is it for the time being. So we'll be back with T-Sun's turn 3. Alrighty, folks, T-Suns, we're done with our turn. I moved these guys back. I was thinking about... Oh, I lied to you. See, this is why I was thinking so hard and then I forgot. I did not get Encircle this time because they're not in my deployment zone. They are holding the objective, which I did need. And so it is what it is. These guys here, they moved up, and then I used Sorcerer's Facade, so they teleported up onto the objective. Can't raise the banner yet. We'll do that next turn. Hellbrute, he did his advancing to get within the 6 inches of the table field edge. He's also within the deployment zone. So for encircle, he would have gotten me more points if I'd rolled anything better than a 2 on the advance over here. And I didn't want to re-roll it because I would have gone off the objective and I wasn't sure what I was thinking. So I didn't. That is what it is. Over here, the Chaos Spawn, they just moved their 7. They were within an 11-inch charge of the Lord of Virulence. He moved his 12 and then Doom bolted and smited, and Lewis's Feel No Pains did not come in handy this time. He saved 1 out of 9 mortal wounds.
Yeah, out of 9 mortal wounds, I saved 1.
The dice have been stupid.
My dice are angry at me.
In my favor, apparently. So that is the end of the turn. So I picked up all the points I can for Assassinate. Did need to erase that encircle point there. And then I got another for raising my banner. So we'll be back for Lewis's turn 3 next. All right, end of the Death Guard turn. They came in like a mighty slobbering, drooling mess. It took 2 mortal wounds from, what was that strat called? I don't remember the name of it.
From Mutant Strain.
Mutant Strain, that's it. So I took 2 mortal wounds. I saved the rest. He actually took 7 on that roll. It was ugly. So we lost 7 from that, and I killed a couple more in the combat, and that is the end of the turn. So he did pick up the 4 on primary. And that's where we're at. So we'll go into T-Sun's turn 4 and probably the last turn, but we'll come back in just a second to let you know how it all goes. Alrighty, folks, it is the end of the turn 4 for T-Suns. I moved these guys a little bit and then just teleported them to here. They raised the banner the subsequent turn. These guys stayed put, raised the banner here. He stayed put in the deployment zone. I backed up the spawn back there so that I could get my encircles secondary. He cast Doombolt and Smite and killed the Poxwalkers there. Yep. And that happened in turn 4. And then these guys raised the banner start of turn 5. So we did the scoring and added all that up. So the end of the game, it was pretty sad for the Death Guard. I almost feel bad. Lewis is a good dude. This is the most ridiculous as far as the psychic output that I've seen in a while. And
Redonkulous.
And in a 500-point game, it was obscene. So yeah, that was that. So it ended up being 84-20. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. I hope you had a good time playing. I know that was a rough game.
Surprisingly, I have some of the best games against your T-Suns. I learn a lot. I have a lot of fun. That. But today,
today was rough.
Maggie was very, 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 very mad.
Yeah, the Zinch, was playing its part with the dice. It was pretty sweet for me. Well, there you go. That is the end of this game. I will say that my MVP would have to be the Exalted Sorcerer. He put out probably more than 20 mortal wounds in 4 turns of Warhammer.
It was Goldberg back in the 90s.
Probably no in the game.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm just saying he killed
tons
of stuff.
He put in work.
He did. It was wild.
It was like Goldberg back in the 90s.
Yep, yes. It was wild. So that is it. I hope you all enjoy this. This list, I think, was better than the one I did last week for sure. And the next game you're going to see is going to be a 1,000-point game. So we'll have a whole bunch of different stuff on the table. So we're going straight to 1,000 points for the next game. So we'll be back. Hope you all enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time on Kitchen Table Wargaming / Hostile Galaxy.